Welcome to the Book Report, hosted by Tyler Booker, T-Book, University of Alabama, all SEC, All-American candidate. I'm AP Stedham, multimedia personality from LA, Lower Alabama. Hey, T-Book.
How we doing?
Oh, we're doing fantastic, man. I don't know if I'm doing as well as you with that big weekend you had up in Madison, Wisconsin. Y'all rolled them up there.
Yes, sir. We had a great game, and I feel like that was a accumulation of us putting everything together. We put the penalties aside and just really had a steady running game, a really dominant running game. So that's why we were able to have so much success.
Yeah, isn't balance the most fun in football, T-Book?
Oh, it sure is. Being able to run the ball up and be dominant with that, but that helps us with the pass rush because if guys are teeing off on us every rush because they know it's pass, it's easier for them to get to the quarterback. So for us to be able to have balance running and throwing the ball, it makes the game a whole lot easier.
Yeah, how was that stadium up there, T-Book? And had you ever been to Wisconsin?
I haven't been to Wisconsin myself, but I heard about it from my uncle and my dad because my uncle actually played at Michigan State and he's played there before. My dad has accompanied him to those games, so they told me it gets pretty loud and it was pretty loud early on, and it was
Right.
a great atmosphere, a great college football atmosphere, and um, that's what I love about playing college football. I'm a college football fanatic, so growing up watching a lot of these big time games. Actually, growing up a Michigan State fan, I've seen plenty of Michigan State versus Wisconsin battles. So being
Right.
able to play in some of these stadiums that I've just seen, watching, growing up, and even playing on with playing the video game on, is just a great experience overall.
Oh, was that decibel level equivalent to the SEC or very similar? The noise?
I wouldn't say that it was similar to the SEC, excuse me, but I
Right.
do think it was a great college football atmosphere.
Yeah. Big crowd there. And, the first time Alabama's been back there is 1928.
Oh
That's
wow.
before your time, way before my time, for sure. But it was a great ball game. Any other thoughts or observations about the ball game and how your team prepared and what you think transpired on the field?
Think we just had a great week of preparation prior to the game, and that's something that we focused on. Just having starting practice fast, starting fast on Tuesday and Wednesday, so we could start fast in the game. And I feel like the way we practiced on Tuesday and Wednesday, that's how we came out and played fast and physical. And I'm just very proud of our defense. Our defense played a dominant game as always, and I'm excited to see how they continue to grow and develop as the season goes along.
Mhm. When you're trying to study a team, T-Book, what's critical for you when you're trying to prepare?
When I'm preparing, I like to look at the team's tendencies because the more that I know about them, the slower the game becomes. Because if I'm out there trying to figure out what they're going to do, trying to figure out what steps this guy is going to take, trying to figure out what the safety's doing, the linebackers doing during the game, that's going to cause me to play a little bit slower. But if I prepare on film by looking at the little details, so for example, I'll look at um, a lineman's feet, seeing if they're seeing the distance between them. If they're very far apart, he can only go forward really fast. But if they're even, he could go side to side really fast. So paying attention to the small details, that's how I prepare. And really noticing the secondary as well, safety rotation, that'll tell the story a lot of times too. So I just take film very seriously and it helps me play faster on Saturdays.
I know you're one of the leaders of the offensive line, T-Book. Do you have to be vocal as you approach the line of scrimmage, or is the center, does he deliver the message, or you pass it on down the line? How does that operate?
So I like to describe it as a little game of telephone. So the center will get up to the line. He'll make the initial call, and then I'll have to echo that to Caden. But there's some times where the center can only see what's going on from guard to guard. There may
I
be
see.
something outside of the tackle that I would have to let him know, and then he can make the call. But sometimes, depending on the call, depending on the play, I can just make the call and go down for the whole line. The left tackle could make a call; it could go down for the whole line. But communication is very key, especially playing offensive line.
Yeah, I think the offensive line. I think people don't realize. I think when you're big and you're talented, that's good enough. But if you don't have that communication, it really you can't function. You can't function as a unit. I always tell them it's like a chorus line. One gal's out of step, everybody's out of step.
Exactly.
uh, T-Book, you have an offensive line. You have a name for your group, your unit.
The unit goes by the Juice Squad. The Juice Squad, and Coach Cap brought that with him. He that's something that he brings with him wherever he goes. And the Juice Squad
Right.
is that's just a that's just a term used for us because we have to be the guys to bring the juice for the team. And all that means is the offensive line has to be the tone setters. Like we are the tone setters
Right.
for the team. So being that we have to be on our P's and Q's every day, we have to be vocal every day. We have to be dominant every day. Like the offensive line can't have a bad day. If the offensive line has a bad day, the team has a bad day. So
Yeah.
we just always have to bring the juice. So therefore we are the juice squad.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that point out to the folks, because if the offensive line is having a good day, the other team's offense is on the sideline. They're watching.
Exactly.
And your defense is having a rest. You could be the defense's best friend.
Exactly. Because people don't understand that if you're just three and out, for one, that's bad because you're not scoring, but two, that's less time that the defense has to rest. That's something a lot of fans don't think about, but that's very important as well. Being
Yeah,
able to play
yeah.
complementary football.
Oh yeah, everybody likes to dance, but not that Tennessee Waltz 1, 2, 3 in football. It doesn't. It's not. It's not good. It's not good for everybody. Hey,
Nah.
T-Book, how do you like to be coached? You know, some people they're you can just tell them one time and just you don't have to raise your voice. Some people like for a coach to raise their voice and motivate them. How do you like to be coached?
Um, I like a vocal coach. So if that means, and I don't, I like a coach to be themselves because in order for a coach to coach at this level,
Yes.
they've done something themselves in order to get them to this level. So if you're a coach that is not too big of a yeller, I don't want you to yell just because I want you to yell. I want you to coach me the
Yes.
best way that you see it. But something that I ask from every coach, like I want to be great. Like I want to be beyond, I want to be beyond great. I want to be excellent. And the only way to achieve excellence is to
Right.
reach for perfection. So
Right.
I want a coach to nitpick me in everything I do. I could drive a guy 10 yards down the field. I still want my coach to be like, hey, Book, you drove him 10 yards, but you could pancake him right here. Or I
Yeah.
can stone the guy at the line of scrimmage
Yeah.
and do really good. Give the quarterback as much time as he needs. Keep a firm pocket. But if my left hand is 2 inches to the outside, hey, Book, great rep, but bring your left hand 2 inches in. Like there's something on every single play. There's something that better. There's something that I can do better, and I
Right.
want a coach to help me see that as well.
Right. Yeah. What's a very good grade for yourself? I mean, I don't know. Can you reach 100%? Can you reach 95 as an offensive lineman? What is an outstanding grade for you, Tipa?
An outstanding grade for me, obviously I'm shooting for that 100 every week. I'm shooting for 100 every week, knowing that it's impossible. So, but that's what makes the game so fun. Like I'm striving for perfection every single week, knowing that
Yeah.
I will never obtain perfection. So, just trying to get to that 100. But some of the best grades I've received are a 90 and a 94 to this point. Those are my two best grades to this point.
Two best grades. Wow. Did you think you were 90 and 94 for those two games? Did you feel that was the representative grade for you?
Um, Not
Are you a
necessarily
hard
because
grader? Are you a hard grader on yourself?
I'm a very hard grader on myself. Like there were plays during practice, and our coach he goes through the whole game, and he'll give you a check or a minus. So play by play, I'm looking to see if I got a check or a minus. And when I watch that play by myself, I'm like, okay, like I understand why he gave me a check here, but he could have given me a minus here. Like there are
I see.
some where coach looks out sometimes, but it's up to me to realize that and understand that there's a lot of room for me to improve.
Right. Tipa, what's the most fun you have on a football field with the game of football as an offensive lineman?
the most fun thing to do as an offensive lineman, I feel like obviously it's pancaking people because there's only
Yeah, yeah,
football is one of the few sports to where you can legally grab a man and move him against his will and put him on his back, and there's nothing that he can do about it. And that's a
right.
feeling that you can only get legally in only a few sports.
Right. Yeah, right. And it's a lot more fun with your team around you. It's not wrestling. You're out there by yourself.
Exactly.
You have to be exerting 100% when you're wrestling every single moment. You're the only one performing.
Yeah.
Do you like pulling? Do you like, as a guard, do you like pulling? You know that sometimes that's fun for guards. Do you like
Yeah.
to pull?
I do like to pull because it's something that the defense doesn't expect all the time. It's a good little switch up, and you pretty much get to hit somebody who most of the time is not expecting it. So, and then it
And
also allows me to show my speed and athleticism as an offensive lineman, and that's a
yeah,
premium at the next level. So whenever I
right.
get a chance to pull, I definitely take advantage of it.
Yeah, and sometimes a smaller defender as well.
Oh yeah, I like picking on the little guys.
T-Book, I was wondering, have you scored a touchdown in football? And if you do, what would be you have a dance, you have a celebration, but you have it all formulated in your mind.
So I scored my junior year of high school, but it got called back due to a holding.
Oh
But
my.
but if I happen to score this year in college, I would. I like to kick the door down wherever I'm at. So I would create the door and kick it down. That would be my celebration.
T-Book, for those who don't know, what is the celebration rule in college in the SEC? Do you know those rules? I mean, because you see all types of things happening now, and I'm not really positive of the rule.
So we actually had the head SEC official come in and talk to us, and he told
Right.
us he doesn't. They're going a little bit more. They're being a little bit more lax with celebrations because they know
I
that's what
see.
the fans like, and they know the fans enjoy them, and they also want us to show our passion and emotion during the game of football because it's a very passionate and an emotional game.
Right.
The way guys will get flags is if they're doing obviously something derogatory that's not upholding the game of football to the standard in class that it deserves, for one,
Right.
and two, they don't want you to go out there with a whole choreographed dance that's excessively long. So if you go out there and do something quick with your team, something quick, something of class, then they won't mind. But if you're going out there doing a whole choreographed dance, that's where you'll probably get a flag
Right.
for excessive
Yeah.
celebration.
Yeah. Yeah. Save that for Radio City Music Hall, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
And as long as you're not, I would say, as long as you're not taunting somebody, I think
Taunting as
that it's
well, yeah.
perceived as taunting. That you're fine. And
Hmm.
what does your coaches say about celebrations? Do they have maybe some advice for the team? Because you should have fun. You should have fun in the game of football because it's so difficult.
Yeah, our coach really preaches to celebrate with your team. If you're celebrating with your buddies, there's no
Yes.
way you're going to get a excessive celebration. If you just celebrate with your team, that's the biggest thing. Celebrate with your teammates.
Right. All right. Hey, T-Book, we want to tell people about your website. Can you give a little preview how they can purchase some merchandise from your website and where to find it?
Yeah, so the name of my website is IamTylerBooker.com. And on my website, you'll find a lot of information about me. You'll be able to learn a little bit about my story. You'll be able to find all my social media handles. And you'll also be able to purchase some merchandise.
Yeah, we're scrolling that in the ticker down below, and we're also going to be putting up your logo. People can look at that. I think it's pretty cool myself. But
Thank you.
you must have a lot of fun with that website, T-Book. You must have a lot of fun with your website.
I do, and I enjoy allowing people to get to see me and get to know me as a person. Whenever I have that opportunity, and I feel like a website is a great way to do so. And I feel like I just have to be even more cognizant of my brand and branding, just because in the game of football we play with a helmet and a face mask on, and that's how people create a lot of relationships and a lot of connections, like with their face, obviously. And since we have on that helmet with the face mask, I have to do even more to create that connection with the fans. So a website is a great way to do that.
Hey, we're going to take a little break here. We're going to be right back with the book report hosted by Tyler Booker, T-Book, and AP Stedham. We'll be right back. We're back with the book report. Our host is Tyler Booker, T-Book, and I'm AP Stedham. Hey, T-Book, we were discussing the offensive line. I mean, I love watching the offensive line. It's so much fun to me.
It's
Most people watch the football, but I like to watch the hand-to-hand competition up front. It's so difficult. I was going to ask you about your coach, Coach K. What would you like to say about him?
Coach Cap. He's a great coach, and I've really enjoyed learning from him. Coach Cap he does exactly what I need out of a coach, and that's what I mentioned earlier. Like he nitpicks. So literally every play in the game, whether I get a check or a minus, he's finding ways to help me get better. And we communicate really well. He sees me as a leader of the offensive line, so if he has questions about anything, he'll ask me. And then I'm very comfortable with him, and we have a great relationship. So if I have questions about anything, I could go talk to him. But I really enjoy working with Coach Cap and being coached by him. And I'm very excited to continue to play for him.
How do you say his name, T-Book? Is that putting the pressure on you now when I ask you to pronounce the name?
Kapolovic.
You said it better than I did. I call him Coach Cap too.
Coach Cap, that's what we call him.
That's it. Oh yeah. Hey, T-Book, this is the bye week, so you've been there a few seasons at Alabama. How do you like to approach this time off?
I really like to approach this time off by going over the past couple games, seeing things that I've done well, of course, but obviously looking at the things that I've fallen short on in my game. So looking at things that I can do better and things that seem to be a theme in my game that needs to get better. So I look through it as far as I look for it as some time to get better, and then
Right.
also really just taking care of my body. If I'm banged up, having any nicks or bruises, I'll essentially live in a training room for the bye week, and then really just clear my mind, and then most importantly, get ahead off schoolwork. I just really take advantage of this time to get ahead off schoolwork.
Right. Is it good for maybe one day to just rest your body totally, or during football season you really have to just stay with it daily?
It's good to rest your body totally, and that's what I'm doing today. So today I didn't do any type of workout today. I don't have one planned, but tomorrow I'll do something light as far as just hitting the treadmill, doing a few offensive line drills to get my body back ready for the rest of the week.
T-Book, I saw you out in Dallas at the SEC Media Days, and right away you were at the podium with that blue suit, and then capped off by the blue suede shoes. I'm talking, you were too cool for school.
Thank you.
I liked it. Where did you get that fashion sense?
I get it from both my parents, and something that they really enforced into me is like you only get one chance to make a first impression. And we I'm not saying that we're superficial, but we definitely care about how we look leaving the house. Like
Yes.
that's how people see you, like how you dress is a reflection of you. And my parents have always made sure that I was one of the freshest kids in school, and they still do. They still do. Like even before I go out to dinner with my friends or even my girlfriend, I call my mom and be like, "Hey mom, how does this look? Hey dad, how does this look?" So to this day, those are my first two stylists, as I like to say.
I love it. I love that. That's a good philosophy. I love that philosophy. Do you think you're one of the best dressers on the team? I mean, I have to vote for you myself. I mean, I really like that suit. I'll wrestle you for it, but I don't think I'd win.
I definitely think I'm one of the best dressed on the team. Definitely, in the suit and in street clothes as well. I definitely pride myself on how I look.
Do you like the shoes, T-Book? You have quite a few shoes.
Yeah, I have. My mom would say I have too many shoes, but I would say I don't have enough. So yeah.
What now? I know you got the fro going on there, so maybe not too much with the hat, right? Not much with the hat.
Not much with hats, but I occasionally
Right.
get my hair braided down and twisted. So I do.
I s-
I started getting some hats just for when I do
right,
get my hair done. But
right.
I don't really get my hair done too much during the season because sometimes the product that I use, it'll I'll sweat and it'll get in my eyes. So
Oh my.
I don't like getting my hair done too much during the season.
No, no. Oh yeah. But I could see you wearing some type of brim. It'd be stylish. I could see
Oh,
that on. Yeah, I surely
for
could.
sure.
Hey, T-Book, what did you know about Alabama? And I'm talking about the state of Alabama before you attended the University of Alabama.
The state. What I know about
You know,
Alabama, not
in other words, something unique. We're going to get into where you were born, New Haven in the house, as we always say.
New Haven in the house. Yes, sir.
But just something about the state. You know, it was hot, of course.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, definitely knew it was hot. And I even before coming here, I knew football was essentially another religion out here. Just in the South in general, but when I came to Alabama for the youth football camps, I definitely saw it then because I would be talking to some of my peers at the camp, and they would talk about how they had been lifting weights, and we were both in elementary school or middle school. And I'm like, man, I haven't even thought about lifting weights yet, but that's how far in advance they people treat football here.
yeah, there's a strong devotion. There certainly is. Yes. So when you remember the first time you came to Alabama, what was the age? People,
I
about
believe I was 11.
about
I
11
believe
years
I was
old.
11. Yes, I think I was 11.
Was it some degree of culture shock for you? I mean, I could tell you some stories because I was born right near you, up the
Yeah.
river, and my dad was from here, of course, and so I knew about it since I was a child. And I just always loved to come see my grandmother and all my cousins and things. So it was fun to be in two different worlds. But it was a culture shock.
There was a little bit of a culture shock. Just honestly, the biggest difference is how nice people are. And I was
Yes.
raised my family, both as my grandparents are from South Carolina and North Carolina. So I was
Okay.
raised almost Southern, I'd like to say, with the
Yes.
with the
Raised Southern. Yes.
yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. So that's the way I was raised. So I was used to that. But people down south in general are a lot more nicer than up north. And I just feel like that's just due to how much slower things are down here
Yes.
in a good way. Like people really enjoy being down south, but I think it's easier to enjoy being down south because they don't have to shovel 4 months out of the year like they do up north. So that's obviously why
Right.
they're more happy.
Right. Oh, for sure. For sure. But anyway, T-Book, we were mentioning New Haven. You were born and raised in New Haven, the Elm City. You're from the state of Connecticut. It's the land of steady habits, the Nutmeg State. What did you like about being raised in Connecticut?
I like the thing I like the most about being raised in Connecticut is it being such a small state. So it being a small state, I was able to really develop a pride because watching Sunday night football, you hear these guys, oh, I'm so and so from Georgia. I'm so and so from Texas. I'm so and so from Alabama. And not here in Connecticut a lot, that just gave me a chip on my shoulder to be like, you
Yeah.
know what? I'm gonna make it and I'm gonna make it and I'm gonna pride myself on being from Connecticut. So just really growing up in that state and that environment and growing up in New Haven especially, I get so much love and support from everybody that knows me growing up, people that coach me, to even those who don't know me personally. Just
Right.
having that relationship with them and having their support, it really means the world to me. So I love New Haven and I give back whenever I get a chance. So for the past 3 years, I've gone back and done a youth camp in May and free of charge for all the kids. It's just due to my love of the game for one, but my love for the city of New Haven. And whenever I get an opportunity to give back, I definitely take advantage of it.
Yeah, I know you're proud of, and I would say, I've been following Alabama football since I was a child. T-Book, I believe I'm thinking you're probably the first person from the state of Connecticut to make All SEC from Alabama in football
I
and
think
freshman
so.
All American. I believe so. I think I could say that with confidence. I believe because I've been watching a long time, and so congratulations to you. Uh,
Thank you.
T-Book, we want to let everybody know we can watch the book report on my YouTube channel at AP Stedham. We're going to get that running on yours as well down the road,
Yes.
but initially we're going to have it at AP Stedham. We're going to get that going on all our social media platforms, Instagram and Facebook and X accounts. So just watch every week. We'll usually have it ready on a Tuesday so people can watch it, and we'll discuss the games. We'll have some guests on. We're going to discuss some things about you personally, and just have a lot of fun and entertain people. And we both love football. We both love Alabama football, SEC football, college football. That's a tremendous sport, and we love the pageantry. And I would say for person from Connecticut, you must love the pageantry as well, the $1 Million Band and the
Oh yeah,
cheerleaders and the dance teams and just the people. They dress up and they show up hours before the game. And when they meet you, it's like you have 100,000 new friends.
exactly, exactly.
So, it's something, it's not, and I would tell people from the East Coast or different parts of the country, it's not basketball. You can't show up 10 minutes before the game. It's a day, an even longer commitment. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sure your parents, it must be loving coming to all the ball games.
They love it, and my dad especially, because like as I mentioned earlier, my uncle went to Michigan State, so he's been to some of the best Big Ten venues. But he now getting to see all of the SEC venues is really a
Right.
dream come true for him as well. And I just love to see the smile on his face and really my whole family, because I know that they're proud of me and I know they're excited to come support me whenever they have the opportunity. And I wouldn't be able to do what I do without them. So I just want to shout them out and say I love all y'all.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, T-Book, let the folks know again about your website and what can be found and where to find it.
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, my website is IamTylerBooker.com. On that website, you'll be able to find out more about me. You'll be able to find all my social media handles. And on top of that, you'll be able to buy some Tyler Booker merchandise as well. So go check it out.
Absolutely. And you have the beautiful logo. I love the logo. So we're going to
Yes,
be
sir.
mentioning that. And we run it on the ticker on the bottom so people could find that as well. And we're going to do some other things along the way. But I can't wait to discuss the games and have some guests on, some friends of yours, maybe some of your family members. We're going to we're going to make it wide open, T-Book. We're going to it's our show. And as I tell people, when you're on the radio or TV, T-Book, you can do almost anything. Right. So we're going to come up with some creative ideas. And I think this is our first episode and it's been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And we look
Same here.
forward to the next week's show. And you have the bye week, so you're going to be all rested up. Georgia coming up. Just a few thoughts about Georgia. I mean, and you got a good friend that plays for Georgia.
I do. I do. Playing Georgia, that's going to be a very competitive game. That's going to be a great game. They're a great team, and I'm very excited to compete against them. But this game means a little bit more for me because I'm able to play against my childhood best friend Ellis Robinson. He and I grew up down the street from one another. AP. I know that you know we're
Wow.
close, but literally down like I can walk to Ellis's house. That's how close we grew up. And
Wow.
he was just ranked the number one player in high school in his past recruiting class, and for him to be at Georgia now, for us to play against one another, that's just it's really a dream come true, and it's something that the whole city of New Haven is gonna love. And
Oh,
I'm
yes.
very
That's
I'm
cool.
very proud, very happy for both of our dads that are able to watch us live out our dreams, and we won't be able to do it without either of them.
No. Ellis Robinson the fourth. Is that correct? Is that
Yes, the
correct?
fourth. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I always like to say that to me it's fascinating how someone gets their name and so Ellis Robinson the fourth. I noticed that right off, but yeah, I can't wait to see that ball game with the two players from New Haven, Connecticut, competing against each other. Hey, T-Book, this is the end of our first episode, and I'd like to thank you so much. And we're
Thank
looking
you.
forward to future episodes, and we have a lot of fun. Remember, at AP Stedham on YouTube, you can check us out, but check out our social media platforms because we'll inform you every week when the show is available. And we look forward to future episodes. And hey, take care of yourself, and we'll be back next week with another episode of The Book Report, hosted by Tyler Booker of T-Book, University of Alabama, All SEC, All American candidate, and I'm AP Stedham, multimedia personality from LA, Lower Alabama. We'll see you next week. T-Book.
See you. Y'all have a good one. Roll Tide.